Hello everyone, back with a haul video. So I think I only did one about 10 days ago. I did say on that one, I don't have too much money. So yeah, I wasn't really planning on buying too much more. But the other day I was going through my gaming collection. So I've spoke about it on the channel before, but yeah, got like modern games, retro games. Quite a lot of them I was looking through, just not gonna play anymore. So I thought, get rid of some of the filler, keep the good stuff. But yeah, when I looked on CEX, some of the retro games I had worth quite a lot, even in CEX's dismal trade-ins they give you. So yeah, I think they were offering me £5. I sell them for like 20, and that's on trading, not even cash. But yeah, I think 86.50 or so I got a voucher for. So yeah, basically everything I got in CEX is kind of free. If you look at it that way, or at least with store credit. So didn't spend that money, then only bought like 4 titles. HMV coming to about 40 something pound. Incidentally, still got £22 left on a voucher for when I go back to CEX. Yeah, I'll get on with it. I'll try not to make this too long. I always say that, but yeah, I won't talk about each one too long. So get it done in under half an hour, maybe even 20 minutes. I'll start with the HMV. So yeah, don't know too much if I'm gonna enjoy this. I did really enjoy the original. Heard some people say this sequel is better than the original. Some people say it's not as good. Mixed kind of bag. I've not heard anyone say it's a bad film, but yeah, compared to the original, I know a lot of people found the original slow. It was quite slow, but I enjoyed it. But let me show it. Black Phone 2 with Ethan Hawke. So yeah, Ethan Hawke, the standout with the original, really good performance as the Snatcher, I think they called him. I do vaguely remember Angelo, aka Wacky World of Napang Films, spoke about this. I think he did an out of cinema reaction after he'd been to view it at the theatre. Don't think he loved it, to tell you the truth. But let me know in the comments. Angelo, either way, I mean, it's an 18. What's the first? Black. Oh yeah, the first was an 18. I thought maybe it was a 15. This would be more violent. Do you like the front cover with his mask in the snow? Yeah, I don't know if it's going to be like set in the snow. I find most sequels to these aren't as good as the original. I mean, it's Scott Derrickson who's done a lot of good films. Sinister, one of my favourite, I wouldn't just say modern horrors, but one of my favourite horrors ever. Great soundtrack, some really good jump scares, especially the lawnmower scene is all I'll say. Really liked Bagul as a character. Really enjoyed that, but then the sequel was quite atrocious. So I'm hoping this hasn't repeated the fate of the past, the mistakes of the past. It's a Blumhouse production. I do find they're usually quite hit and miss, usually quite sort of not low budget, but quite run of the mill kind of stuff. So yeah, I'll see how I get on with this. $14.99. Yeah, I've literally only got home like half an hour ago, so obviously I keep the prices on to show everybody. Black Phone 2. Let me know if it's a decent one. Right, this is one. Basically, they were in the 2 for £15 in like the vintage classics collection. So obviously it made sense to get 2 of them. This is one I watched, must have been like 6 years plus ago on streaming. Could appreciate it was a good film, well made, but I didn't get on with it too much. Didn't really resonate with me. Didn't really like the music. I don't mind some folk music, especially Jethro Tull and that, but yeah, didn't like the music at the time. But Jodie from Jodie's Movie Realm, Roy from Blue Roy Movies, Marcus from X-File 2708 have all sung this one's praises. So I'm like, I respect these YouTubers' opinion. They know their stuff, so there's got to be something in it. So when it works out $7.50, I thought a good time to pick it up with a nice little slipcase and see if my opinions change. It's definitely better than the remake with Nicolas Cage, not the bees, but the Wicker Man. So yeah, this is the original one with Christopher Lee, Edward Woodward, and Britt Eklund. Yeah, obviously it's a folk horror. I think it's probably one of the first folk horrors. Maybe there was some out before this. Let me know. I'm sure other people know more about the history of folk horror than I do. But yeah, can't think of too many before this. And obviously a lot have come since. Some I do really like. This is, yeah, like the trendsetter, really. From 1973. Like I said, directed by Robin Hardy. Oh, I've got a final cut, a director's cut, and a theatrical cut. Let me know which version to watch. Because yeah, I guess the one I watched on streaming years ago, like I said before, hopefully the police aren't listening, but it was the illegal Cody box. Guessing it was just a theatrical cut they would have showed on streaming, which is 87 minutes. Sometimes, as the general consensus seemed to be with Donnie Darko, is the longer cut isn't always better. So the director's cut, 102 minutes is the longest version. Yeah, comes with a nice little slipcase. Do really like the artwork on this. Yeah, they do like a big set. I think it's one Marcus got a while ago. I think it's 4K. The box is like that chonky with 3 or 4 discs in it. They did have that in a local CEX, but I thought rather than buy that and maybe you still don't get on with the film, and then you've got a boutique special edition. Because I don't think that was on Vintage Classics. The sort of bigger, newer bells and whistles, ashtray included, for get a free coaster kind of box set. But obviously I think that box set was like 20 plus, 30 maybe even more. So yeah, thought try it out with this. If I do really love it and change my mind, then maybe I'll go and get the better version and then move this one on. But I have had it in the past where some films I've not clicked with the first time, gone back and watched them, really enjoyed them, and vice versa. Some I've loved, gone back on a second viewing, thought, why did I think it was that good? Maybe I was drunk on the first viewing. But yeah, kind of been doing a disservice really to not just classic films, but horror especially, to be a horror fan and not own this or not get on with it. I know a few other people have said they can't really get into it either, so it's not just me. Remember the ending. Sure, it's not a spoiler, everybody probably knows, but yeah, haunting ending, good acting and things. Yeah, maybe it's just the music holding it back for me a little bit, and had to pair that up with another Vintage Classics for the 2 for 15. I say have to, wanted to. So many good ones I could get. I know Stuart George's Home Movies and Roy, again from Blue Roy Movies, I've been talking about Vintage Classics a lot of them very old films from like the 50s and stuff. Not saying I'm not interested in those films, but this is one I've always wanted to upgrade. Only had it on DVD, so I've now upgraded it to Blu-ray. Sure everybody knows this one, David Lynch's most conventional film, The Elephant Man. Yeah, I remember I seen this when I was a kid. A teenager. Did enjoy it, and it wasn't usually the kind of film I'd watch, but watched it. Then years later, let's say 10 years later, maybe not even that, started getting into David Lynch, watched Mulholland Drive, Twin Peaks, started getting a lot of his films. And when I found out Elephant Man was by him, I was genuinely surprised, because it doesn't have the David Lynch stamp of surrealism all over it. Yeah, it is. I haven't seen The Straight Story. I'm guessing it's a bit more of a, no pun intended, but a straighter, less surreal kind of film. I mean, if it's about a man riding a tractor across America. But to my knowledge, this is not only his most conventional film, one of his best, true classic. Nice little slipcase on it. Yeah, try and get these when they've got the slipcase. But yeah, I have seen this one twice, I think, and enjoyed it. Great performance from John Hurt. You've got Anthony Hopkins, Anne Bancroft, Jean Gielgud, and Wendy Hiller. Directed by David Lynch. And let me just see if the music's by... John Morris. Must be before he started collaborating with Angelo Badalamenti, who's done a lot of his later films and definitely the Twin Peaks. Love the little intro theme to Twin Peaks. Elephant Man, obviously, 2 for 15 on those, so works out $7.50 each, so good value. And then this one I knew had come out, hadn't sort of gone in HMV or anywhere since it had come out to pick it up, so first time I've had a chance to. Never seen it, looks a bit silly, crazy, but yeah, it's always once been on my radar. I think before it was quite expensive, sort of out of print. I think this is a title to rival Hills's Bachelor Party in the Bungalow of the Damned, one of the craziest titles of the year. Well, this is Sorority Babes in the Slime Bowl O-Rama. Oh, very much glare on that. Sorry. Yeah, I've got the lights are off in here. There's hardly any light coming through the window in dreary Bristol, so I don't know why this is so shiny. It also includes the bonus movie of Sorority Babes in the Slime Bowl O-Rama 2. So didn't even know there was number 2. I'm assuming it's not too great. But yeah, for this kind of nice big box set, comes with obviously the, guessing it's got 2 discs in there, little booklet in, like, as Marcus calls it, it's not actually such a rigid box as like the 88 Films and Arrow video and that do, or Second Sight Films. But yeah, nice sturdy box, but good price for $16.99. Guessing it's going to be like a bit of a schlocky, silly horror comedy. Don't know if it's going to have comedy. Maybe it's accidentally funny. Maybe it's funny by script. But bowling film. Not too many bowling films out there. You've got Kingpin, which is quite a funny one. Big Lebowski. They do a bit of bowling. There's a really brutal one. People into their more sort of disturbing cinema. Hills, Ash, and Marcus. There's one called Gutter Balls by, I think his name's Ryan Nicholson, and yeah, that is like quite extreme. I think it's like not ever been released in the UK. It's like banned in some countries, but yeah, it's not just brutal gore and things, but very un-PC. Goes there with a lot of stuff that most films wouldn't dare to show. So yeah, in terms of bowling films, there's not too many. So see if this is in the top 4 out of 4. Yeah, pretty sure it's got Barbara Crampton in it, which will definitely elevate it. Directed by David Decoteau. Not heard of him. Executive producer Charles Band, so you probably know it's kind of going to be cheap and schlocky. If it's anything to do with Full Moon, yeah, it's a Full Moon release. Starring, that's it, Linnea Quigley. Sorry, I said Barbara Crampton. Yeah, Barbara Crampton, Linnea Quigley, Dee Wallace, I say, are 3 of the sort of biggest scream queens I've ever heard of. Linnea Quigley, Andreas Jones, Robin Rochelle, Hal Havins, Brink Stevens, Michelle McKellen, Katie Obrecht, Carla Barron, and John Stewart Wildman. He's gone feral. But yeah, like the artwork and that on it. Don't know much about it. If Hills or someone's seen it, let me know. Is it a decent one? But yeah, I thought $16.99 for that kind of big set is quite good value, because some boutique labels would do a set that big with, say, 2 discs and a free film, charge $25. Criterion would charge you like £30 for half a disc. Right, that's the HMV. So like I say, wasn't too many, only 4. Now on to the CEX. So as you see by these 4 English language pickups, I've been starved of any foreign language film, so had to put that right with, let me take this little, even though I keep the prices on to show you, I do usually try and take those little nuisances off, but forgot before the video. But yeah, I take it off because you couldn't even see the title with that stupid thing in the way. Heard about this a lot of times. A lot of people say it's like not just a genre pushing the envelope kind of film, but also quite sort of disturbing for its time. Been on my radar for a long time, but never seen it. I'll give you the English title first. Eyes Without a Face, aka Les Yeux Sans Visage, I guess you pronounce it. Pierre Brasseur, Alida Valli in a film by Georges Franju. Any French speakers like Roy Barrett, let me know in the comments how badly I've butchered that. So it's from 1960. It's black and white. Obviously, it's on the BFI label, which is a prestigious label, not just for collecting and that, but in my opinion, they don't really release many bad films. So if they put something on this label, then usually quite confident it's going to be a hit. I don't know if it's a horror. I mean, maybe it's just a bit more of like a surreal drama, but for the time, I think there's a few scenes of like gore or something. Contains moderate bloody medical horror and moderate violence, 15. I'm not sure if based on the novel by Jean Redon. So it comes from a book. But if anybody knows about this, let me know. Seen it in there in the CEX in Bath I went to, which, by the way, is really not that bad for cover reprints compared to Bristol. So I did speak to the person in there at the till, and I was saying Bristol's really bad. Do you reckon they're just robbing them, get outside, realise there's no discs and like chuck them in the bin, or are they like buying? Then he said no, obviously because they're part of the chain, they must speak to each other. And he said no, Bristol, Bedminster, a few of the local ones with a higher crackhead population, literally having half their stock robbed and having to try and sell all cover reprints. Whereas Bath and Kingswood, 2 of my other local ones, don't really seem to get hit that bad. Although I'd say Kingswood is probably the roughest most crime-ridden area out of all of those, so weird. But yeah, seen it in there a few times at £10. Never really pulled the trigger. And then obviously, like I say, because I had the voucher, it kind of feels easier to buy it when I don't have to spend my own money, so to speak. Yeah, Ice About a Face from 1960, and yeah, glad to see it. It's not a cover reprint, because it does seem to be a lot of these kind of boutique ones that they do target, or anything expensive, I guess they want to get. This one, been on my radar for a little while ago. I was thinking of doing a Guillermo del Toro ranking, and there was a few of his films I didn't have, this being one of them. Sort of went off my radar for a while, and then Roy Barrett from Blue Roy Movies was talking about this. I think he spoke about this recent one. I think he spoke about the original as well, which I think is from like the 1920s or 1930s black and white film noir. Correct me if I'm wrong, Roy. But this, yeah, I think it's about the same price for this Steelbook as it would have been just to get the standard version. Seen it on the website, and then obviously it's up behind the till. So I said to the guy at the till, can I have a look at this one? Let me actually check. Yeah, directed by Guillermo del Toro, because quite a lot of the time it'd be plastered all over the front with his name, like on Mortal Engines. There was another one I thought I had to pick up to complete his collection, and it wasn't even by him. Whereas, yeah, this does say on the back it's actually directed by him. Is Nightmare Alley at £6 for the Steelbook. Does come with this weird little J card. I know Angelo's not a fan of those. I will probably chuck. I don't chuck them. I usually, if you can see where those second sights are, there's a gap behind, and I throw them behind there and stash them. So yeah, I don't want to chuck them away altogether, but I don't always want to display them on the actual product. Like I say, I'm not the biggest Steelbook collector, but when you can only, I wouldn't say you can only get this on Steelbook. I think you can get like a standard Blu-ray, but the only copy they had in any of my local CEXs was this version. So yeah, £6 for a Steelbook, disc in good condition. Really like that kind of, I don't know if you could see it, artwork inside. Looks like drawings by Vasalis, I think he was called. Correct me if I'm wrong, if you're any kind of historian. I guess the only good thing about this little J card is it actually does tell you information on the back, whereas some I have took off, I think years ago, some Steelbooks like the Alien one, I've had for like 15 years or so. I think maybe I did chuck them away, and then when you go to look at the back, there's no synopsis, because obviously they focus on the artwork. So yeah, I guess at least with this, it does tell you the information you might want to know. 15 strong violence, injury, detail, language, 150 minutes, so whoa, 2 hours and a half, pretty long. Obviously directed by Guillermo del Toro, I don't know if I'm saying that correctly, starring Bradley Cooper, Kate Blanchett, Toni Collette, Willem Dafoe, Richard Jenkins, Rooney Mara, Ron Perlman, Mary Steenburgen, David Starfern, Starfern, I guess you pronounce it. Yeah, so like Roy said when he spoke about it, absolutely stacked cast. More of a case of who's not in it than who is. But yeah, Nightmare Alley for £6. Thought that was good value. This is pretty crazy. I've never actually watched this. I've seen the Peter Jackson version. I think I've even seen another one. Was there like a 70s version with Faye Dunaway in? Or is this the one with Faye Dunaway? Let me show it to you first. It's King Kong, the original. So film I've always been interested in, but just never really picked up. Don't really see it around too often. Whereas, like I always say, if I see a premium collection release for a good price, in good condition with the slipcase, then I'm always game to pick it up. It does have the booklet. It does have 2 discs, Blu-ray and DVD. DVD don't really mean much to me. I'm never really going to use that. From 1933. So tell me who the actors are. Yeah, I'm thinking maybe I know there's obviously Peter Jackson's one. That must have been from the 2000s. And then there's obviously this original one. I think there was one from like the 70s or so. I think they've done a few kind of spin-offs, so to speak, like Mighty Joe Young. I mean, this is a smaller kind of King Kong. 104 minutes, PG, mild violence and threat. I'm guessing the effects are done by Ray Harryhausen. I didn't know that, but it's saying on the back commentary of Ray Harryhausen. So yeah, maybe he did the effects. Obviously, a big fan of Ray Harryhausen. A lot of his classics, like the Sinbad films, especially Sinbad and the Eye of the Tiger, Clash of the Titans. What's the name of the other one? The one with Perseus and that. I have a mental block, but I've got about 10 films by Ray Harryhausen, and all the films are actually well made, but even if they're not, you could just enjoy his sort of stop motion work. So yeah, let me know, without sort of me going into too much detail and making this go on too long, let me know, is this Ray Harryhausen doing the special effects? Sinbad films must be a lot later. Yeah, I can't imagine, actually. I don't think Ray Harryhausen would have been around in 1938. Oh, special effects pioneer Wills O'Brien. So maybe he went on to mentor Ray Harryhausen when Ray Harryhausen was young, or Ray Harryhausen just took inspiration from his stuff. But yeah, just weird. It's got Ray Harryhausen's name in like all of the extras, as if it's interviewing him about how he made this film. But yeah, I'm guessing at that time he wouldn't have even been a fetus. This is another upgrade for me, one I know Sam's a big fan of. I think most film fans, or fans of British cinema especially, are a fan of this one. Yeah, always had it on DVD. Finally upgraded it to Blu-ray, only £4. Let me take this stupid sticker out of the way. Well, actually, they didn't have one on the premium collection. I think maybe some of the stores know not to like stick it on the cardboard kind of ones, or when you've got one of these special editions, you pull it off and the box is ruined. Nobody's going to buy it. Yeah, this is England for £4. Directed by Shane Meadows. I've got, what was it called? So Summerstown, which I haven't watched yet. Watched the TV series of this. Been talking to Sam about this from Sammy G's World of Cinema, aka Mr. Frutella. This, yeah, not my favourite film by him. Probably my second favourite, but Dead Man's Shoes. Spoke about it a few times, but yeah, maybe my favourite British film ever, if not in my like top 3, top 5. Whereas, yeah, this would be up there, but maybe not in my top 10. But sure, everyone knows This Is England, about like racism and skinheads and things, but more to it than that, as you expect from a Shane Meadows film. A lot of drama and relationships and things. This one I've seen around, never really been too interested in the film. I remember my sisters years ago were fans of this, and yeah, thought it looked okay, but not really my thing until I seen Sam talk about it, and he said it was a Edgar Wright film. Big fan of Edgar Wright, obviously the Cornetto trilogy. Need to get round to Baby Driver, as I do own it, not watched it, but most people are saying it's if not the best action film of like the last 20 years or something. So yeah, trying to get all the Edgar Wright films, and this is one by him I didn't have, Scott Pilgrim versus the World. Let me just check. Yeah, it is an Edgar Wright film. I knew Sam wouldn't steer me wrong. Like a blind getaway driver. Contains moderate violence, sex references, and bleep strong language. 12. Bit weird they bleep it. Maybe a bit like the Osbournes. Maybe it works in context. Starring Michael Cera, Mary Elizabeth Winstead, Kieran Culkin, brother of Macaulay, Chris Evans, Anna Kendrick, Alison Peel, Brandon Roth, Jason Schwartzman. So yeah, quite a stacked cast. I guess most of these were quite young maybe before they went on to bigger things. It is from 2010. Seen a few things with Michael Cera in, and he is good. Don't always like him, but is it? Superbad, I think he's in. But yeah, Scott Pilgrim versus the World. How long is it? I can't usually find the running time. I'm not even going to try, but yeah, let me know if this is a good one. But for £5, one you don't see round too often, thought it was a good one to add to the Edgar Wright collection. Yeah, I think I only need a few more films by him now. There's probably a few more I forgot to mention that he's done. This one I've seen around a few times. Not bad value for a box set with 2 films in for 15 on Eureka. And most titles now on Eureka are out of print. But yeah, a bit like I've sort of been saying with the theme of this. When it's your own money, you might see it and think, usually I pick up a pile of ones I want, then I calculate it and it comes to like £100. I'm like, well, I better put half of them back. Whereas, yeah, it's always one I've overlooked. But like I say, with the voucher, it doesn't feel like it stings as much. So I've got this Jackie Chan in Police Story 1 and I always say 1 on the original Police Story and Police Story 2. Let me hope this sticker comes off without damaging the artwork. Yes, it does. Yeah, big fan of pretty much everything by Jackie Chan. Maybe not some of his more modern ones got a bit silly. Is like a tuxedo or something. Never watched it, but seen the trailer. It seemed a bit ridiculous. But yeah, Police Story 1. Police Story 2. Not gonna... Well, let me just check for my own interest that... Yeah, it's got the booklets in and things. Reversible artwork. Probably will reverse it, actually, because they look quite good. In a nice little box set. Oh, I put it upside down. Yeah, I know Angelo's a fan of Jackie Chan. Let me know if you've seen these, Angelo. Police Story 1 and 2. I've watched them years ago. I mean, like, when I was... Well, what year did it come out? Doesn't actually say on there, but I'm guessing like early 2000s. So, yeah, probably watched at least the original, maybe not the sequel, about 20 years ago. Remember it being good, but can't remember too much about it. Guessing his martial arts with a bit of action mixed in. Some of his older films like Drunken Master, Snake and the Eagle, Shadow, just straight up martial arts films, usually sort of set in like in the past when they didn't have too much technology and things, whereas this looks like driving around in cars and things. But yeah, Police Story 1 and 2 for £15. This one, I'm going to take heed from Angelo and check it's got the disc in, as Angelo was stung by this. I guess it's quite on theme. When the film is about a pirate coming and taking your stuff, they took Angelo's disc. Yes, Captain Phillips for £1. And let's see, Angelo, it does have the disc in. Yeah, anyone that's seen Angelo's video, I think most people that watch my channel watch Angelo, aka Wacky World and the Pang Films. Yeah, probably seen, I think he showed it on a short. He had no disc in it. I guess for £1 rather than go back in and moan, Angelo just bought another one, I think. Maybe upgraded it to like a Steelbook or something. Yeah, crazy enough, never actually seen this, but heard really good things about it. I have seen the villain from it. He does look very creepy, sort of does play the role good from what I've heard. Directed by Paul Greengrass. Can't say I know too much about him. Don't know if he's related to that character from Heartbeat, if anyone remembers that show from like the 90s. Film by Paul Greengrass, Tom Hanks, Barkhad Abdi, I guess that's the sort of Somalian pirate guy. Music by Henry Jackman. Can I find 12 contains moderate violence and threat. Approximately 134 minutes, so just over 2 hours. 2013, I thought it was longer ago than that. Yeah, Captain Phillips. Obviously, I'm trying to get a lot, I would say all, probably impossible to get all, but a lot of Tom Hanks's films, and yeah, that's one not only I haven't got in the collection until now, but haven't even seen and heard really good things. A lot of people saying, you know, outside of the Green Mile and his highest ranked ones, it's sort of quite an overlooked one. This is one I had on DVD, upgraded it to Blu-ray for only £3. I enjoy this one. It's a bit silly. It's a comedy horror. If you know Sam Raimi from especially Evil Dead films, you kind of know what to expect. I'm not going to lie, there is one scene in this with they're doing like a seance, not really a spoiler to say, around the table, and there's like a goat, a CGI goat, and not only is the CGI look bad on it, but the goat starts like smiling and talking, and yeah, I think when I was watching it with my mate years ago, obviously there's some funny bits and that in the film, the kind of way it is, but yeah, we were laughing at that bit, and there are a few sort of creepy moments as well when the Lamia, I think is the demon that's sent to drag her to hell, is coming. Yeah, it's kind of what you'd expect from Sam Raimi. Not as good as Evil Dead films, but up there, yeah, one of his better ones. This is Mrs. Ganush, this evil, like, I think she's like a Romanian gypsy. She's quite creepy in it, really looks the part. Really like the main lady in it, Alison something is she called? Alison Lohman, yeah, she's looks good, like easy on the eye. Does have a very good ending, won't spoil what happens. 15, contains strong horror and violence, 99 minutes. 2009. Again, I thought it was a bit older than that, unless it was the year when this was released. Yeah, pretty sure Angelo picked this one up recently as well from the Pang Films. Don't think he's seen it before, so it'd be interesting to see how he gets on with it. Whereas, yeah, I've watched it about 3 times or so. So yeah, we'll be moving the DVD on, a few upgrades. Right, and on to the last one. Just gonna get this all pretty much under 30 minutes, or 30 minutes on. Don't know too much about this, I won't talk about it for too long, but it is an archive collection from Warner Brothers, £8. One I don't see around too often, Vision Quest. title kind of grabbed me, but then when I started reading the back, directed by Harold Becker, starring Matthew Modine, Linda Fiorentino. But yeah, it's basically about a high school wrestler is a man obsessed, trying to shed 23 pounds in a dangerously short time to take on Shoot, the undefeated tough as nails 168-pound champion who's the best wrestler in the state. Matthew Modine stars in this underrated Vision Quest. Yeah, it's about wrestling, not always sort of... When I was a kid, I used to watch like 80s wrestling, like Royal Rumbles. In fact, to go back sometimes and watch those when it's like the Ultimate Warrior, Hulk Hogan, Ric Flair, the classics, but haven't watched like, I say modern wrestling, anything that's not throwback in like 20 years or so. But after watching the Iron Claw, absolutely brilliant film. More really about the drama between the brothers and the relationships. Very depressing, heavy emotional film, but a brilliant film. In fact, I kind of think I overlooked and forgot to put that in my top 15 best watches of the year when I did that video. Yeah, I kind of went back through all my recent watches, but I don't think I started recording those until like halfway, maybe like a third of the way through the year. But yeah, I would have probably put that in there as an actual top 15 more than an honourable mention. So that is more, like I say, it doesn't have much wrestling in. I'm guessing again, this is a bit more about the drama of the life outside of wrestling. Might show some of the sort of wrestling as well. But yeah, pretty sure Ash from Popcorn and Horror spoke about this one. Let me take this stupid sticker out of the way. Vision Quest. Bit of a weird name for a wrestling kind of film, really. But yeah, when I sort of seen online it was going to be in there, sort of looked good, but from the front, yeah, I thought it was going to be maybe like a bit of a sort of futuristic sci-fi with the name Vision Quest. Oh, he was like, you know, a blind person looking to get a cataract operation or something, but no, it's about wrestling. Vision Quest, £8. Yeah, let me know, Ash, if you spoke about that one before. I think someone subconsciously planted the seed in my brain that I'm interested in that before I really knew what it was. Because, yeah, it's not the most standout cover or name, really, is it? But something attracted me to it. Right, I'll end here, because otherwise I'll be going on to my normal length, and I did promise I'd make it shorter. So, yeah, so everything I've picked up. Probably won't be getting anything else until I get paid in like 2 weeks or so. Well, actually, if I do go in a CEX, then I've got a bit of a voucher to spend, so maybe I'll grab a few more titles. I'll link everybody I've mentioned, all great YouTubers. Go and check out all their channel and their content. Thanks, everybody, for watching. Bye.